Represent UCLA.
This is my
What's
chill at
up?
home.
Hi,
Hello,
Rebecca.
hello.
Hi, Tima. Okay, so hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this special Wise I Should Talks episode. Today, I'm very excited to be doing this panel discussion with these amazing people who have, volunteered their insightful thoughts, their amazing minds, their voices, to come and talk about something that's very important today. Because I think all of us on this planet have experienced this in some kind of capacity. And this kind of relationship is very special and unique. And it's called friendships. What are friendships? How do we define them? What are the different things that come about? And also, how does culture, race, finances, how do all of these things impact the way we relate to others, especially when we're talking about within a friendship relationship? So, speaking of social media, the first question is, in a social media filled world that is hyper visual, it can seem that everything is about appearances, the bling, the lifestyle, the look, the vibes, the clout. So therefore, I want to ask you all, do physical appearances such as beauty, which can be used as currency, style, vibe, clout, and personal grooming, such as even natural scent, brushing teeth, do all of these things impact the kinds of friends that you make and keep? Who wants to go ahead and start? Now, if you want me to repeat that question, I can, but do you need me to repeat it?
I can go first.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go then. Physical appearances.
Yeah, even though like a lot of people might not like admit it, but I think a lot of people make friends depending on looks. They do it. They don't really want to do it, but they do it. You know, they see
What do you mean
people.
by that?
Basically, you do it like you don't really think about it, but when you see people, first of all, before you approach a person, you look at them, you see how they move, like how they act, the way they look. That's the first thing you see before you approach somebody. You don't even know about like the things they like to do, the type of person they are. It's just the looks on the first place. It's like basically if you're attracted to a person, for example. Like for example, let's say you want to get a girlfriend. You see a girl, it's on the looks first. You approach her before you start discovering like how the person acts, if she's a good person or not. I feel like it's the same thing with friends. First of all, you just look at the person from the outside, and you be like, oh, that might be a cool person to be friends with, And then you start to
Okay.
get to know the person. Maybe I feel like the looks that start like making friendships, but it doesn't keep it. It's
I
when
don't
you
know.
know the type of person they are, that's when you realize if you can keep them as friends or not.
Okay. Lumo, it sounds like you disagree already. Let's see. I see your face. Like, what do you want to say?
I actually really disagree with that. I think looks and everything, it's definitely important. Like when you choose like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're attracted to them first. But with friendship, it's so broad. When I look at my friends, it's really about, as you said, the vibe. And the vibe a person gives up, it's more of his personality, like the way he talks, the way he treats people. All of the friends I've met, I mean, I never stopped a second to like think about how they looked. I would agree to like think that someone's look could like push me away. If someone by his physical appearance looks like he's crazy or he doesn't really take care of himself like that, that's different. But a look has never attracted me into creating a friendship. That's 100% the personality. Like no matter what he looks like, it's the vibe he gives up. It's the feeling. It's the conversation. That's what creates a friendship. But
I
other
think
than that.
I think what's really interesting though is like you're saying you kind of agree with Yusuf, but you're saying that, the only part you don't agree with is that
Look,
the looks are not everything. Like it's more of the personality.
Yeah, like he said that the look is the thing that attracts you first into the person. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I feel like that works for like dating and everything, but into making a friendship, it's not the way the person looks that creates a friendship.
so
It's
so when I say looks, oh
Go ahead.
go ahead.
yeah. So when I say looks, it includes like the way, for example, the smell of the person. For example, let's say you see somebody and the person really, I don't want to say this, but it's like the person really smells bad. Would you even like try to know the person if the person like you can't stand the person's smell standing next to you? You
Mm.
know?
So I
How
think,
would you act
okay,
in the
I
situation?
feel like that's a valid question because like even if the person doesn't smell good, or let's just say the person has like a authentic and unique scent to them.
Yeah.
And for some of us might like it, and then
Yeah.
some of us might not. I don't even mean this person is stinky, because everybody use different things, and people produce their own natural odors too. Like all of us, you know, secrete certain things on our skin. So like we smell differently. We all have a unique scent. For some of us, we might be like, nah, that natural scent you got going on is not cool with me.
I can't
You
look.
know, but then somebody else might be like, ooh, that smells really good to me. Like I want to be closer to that person. So I just find it like with scent, it's not just the stinkiest person, it's just like the natural scent, or even the cologne that the guy's wearing. You're like, that shit is annoying. I don't even want to be around that guy. He put too much on. But I think more than scent, what Lumu was talking about in terms of the vibe, I also feel like that's in combination with the look though. I feel like the look comes along with the vibe and the personality. I feel like all of that comes in a package deal. Like when you see somebody, there's only been a few instances where like I'm not seeing the person and I hear them and I'm like, yo, this person is hilarious. But then I turn around and look at them, and that may automatically motivate me to go up to them, or may just make me stay closed off. And I don't know if that has that happened. Yeah, Tima, what
I
are you gonna
agree
say?
with you, Aisha. I agree with you. Because if you think about it, like, I think most friendships, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of friendships started out as like a person complimenting someone. Oh, hey, I like how your hair looks. What products do you use? Da 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 da. And then their conversations evolve. But on the
Mm,
other hand, in that sense, looks was kind of the cause of the friendship starting.
mm.
But then again, I also agree with Yusuf and Numu that is not what's going to sustain the friendship in the long run.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
yeah.
you have
Oh,
Maguy.
Maggie. Her name is Maggie. I'm so sorry. I called her Lumu because
Maggie.
that's her last name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna call you
Oh,
Maggie.
sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. I,
Can I
Maggie.
chime in real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
I think there's a difference also when you are creating a friendship or you are gonna have a friends and how you attract or choose what kind of friend based on the gender as well. So as a man, what I look for or what uh, interests me to be a friend with another man is very, very, very different when I'm engaging with a woman and I'm trying to be a friend with her.
Mm,
So those two things are very different as well. So like that also plays a big role on how like what each gender sees from the other gender and how they think they're gonna become friends. You know, to be honest, like in
I'll,
our climate, when the time we are in right now, is that if a man comes up and speaks to a woman, first initial idea will be, oh, he's trying to get at me. So it's kind of like also a very different dynamics when a man is trying to be a friend with a woman, whereas a woman is also trying to be a friend with a man. You know, so very dynamic,
mm.
different dynamics to it too.
I think before we go to Tima, because I feel like Tima had something to say, it's what really interesting, but I think we're gonna get into that later on, talking about this the gender spectrum, because you said when a man is trying to be a friend with a woman, and I think the active word is trying. You know, most friendships they may just happen naturally. You meet people and you guys get along. But when a man specifically says, I'm trying to be friends with her, there's gotta be a real reason why he's saying I'm trying to be friends with her. And usually that means that there is some kind of connotation. Now, excuse me if I'm wrong, but most of the time it's like, I need to figure out what's this special thing she got going on. Either she might stay in the friend zone, or I might want to put her in another category. But I still feel like the word trying, when a man is trying to be a friend with a specific woman, like there's always something that has to be. But I feel like that you can say that with anybody, to be truthful, to be honest.
I mean, well, the difference, like the trying is like when you meet somebody that you have commonalities with, or things that are the same interests as you, or whatever you do. Um, there is a phase of you trying to be a friend with that person because you're trying to establish friendship. You're always going to try to establish friendship by trying to have that commonality and continue and build on that. That's what I meant by trying. It's not necessarily like I'm trying to figure out who she is or what
Oh,
she's
okay.
doing.
Because when you
You
said
know,
try, you said when a man sees a woman, he's trying to be a
no, like
friend. I was
yeah,
like, oh.
I get what you're saying. It's like, but the trying aspect was for me to tell that whenever we meet somebody, regardless of what you meet that person situation wise, like how you meet them, if it's a foundational, like if you want to create a friendship, you have to try to create that environment in order for you to be friendship. And that's what I meant by, trying to create that friendship. It's both ways, for a woman, with a man, and a man with a woman.
Okay. Timo, what were you gonna say?
Now, I was just gonna add, like, on the fact on like how friendships develop. I feel like it also depends on the setting. The setting kind of, it helps develop what type of friendship that might be. For instance, like when you meet a friend from school, it's separate from like when you just go to the club and meet someone and then later on start becoming friends.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right, because even with most of us that are, of a younger generation, if we have to go to school all the time, that's where we're spending most of our time. So obviously, most of our friends are going to come from those circles, the majority of them. Then you'll meet people outside. But the thing about friendships in school is really interesting is that not all of them make it outside of school. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You meet a lot of people at school. Y'all have a good time that one semester in that class. You guys are best friends. You sit next to each other. You got each other's back. And then when the class ends, it's like, it's not even like you don't like them. It's just that it's not calling you no more. Y'all don't have that commonality anymore. Even though y'all might have gotten along, y'all may have some common traits. But for some reason, when you're outside of the setting, like what Tima's talking about, it just doesn't translate well outside of school anymore or outside of that class. Can anybody relate to that? Anyone?
No, definitely. I mean, I remember it's not really a class, but a lot of my ambassadors' friends.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that too. Yeah. Yeah.
On Instagram, say hi, but they're not my friends. We're extremely close, so we move on.
Yeah. So, okay,
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to add to that
Can I?
question? Yeah.
Yes, I would like to add something.
Yes.
Yes, the question is very interesting. I think sometimes we might want to approach someone for what they represent, not for what they are, I think we can represent something and not being that thing really. See? What
Damn,
if I
dropping some
meet see, what if I meet say Yusuf at a restaurant? I see Yusuf with like the Stanford t-shirt. I see him with a soccer ball sitting next to him and computer open, he's coding. What comes to my mind? Oh, this guy is smart. He goes to Stanford. He got a soccer ball. He's athletic. We like the game. And he's coding, He will do the same stuff. Man, so I build this image of this guy like, yo, this is the Stanford guy that's like cool and stuff. I don't know Yusuf. I know nothing about the man. But he's representing something at that moment in time, based on what he's wearing, what he has with him, And I think it's like a snapshot of the person's life. They are representing some specific thing at that specific time, And it goes back to the fact that sometimes subconsciously we build these images of people, and it kind of makes us want to connect with them, Now, I'm not talking about long-term friendships. As people get to know each other, obviously things can change. But at first, that can be a motivating factor, for engaging into and starting something with someone, what the person represents and what they are. I think there's a line between that. And you talked about social media. Instagram is here, I can pretend to live a certain life that I really don't live. What am I doing?
Ooh.
I'm representing some certain image, that it's not really me, but it's the representation. People are going to look at that, have a certain image of me, and then be like, oh, this guy is cool, or we want to connect with this guy, but they really don't know me. So
yeah, I think also what's
that's what I
really
wanted to add.
interesting. Yeah, no, I think what's really interesting about what you're saying is like, I found that it depends also on where you're living. So kind of going back to what Tima's talking about, your setting is very important.
Yes.
Like if you're talking about, like I noticed in LA here, the culture, a lot of people just like to be able to say like, that's my friend, just to be able to say they have a huge network of people. So like I've noticed that there's a group of people who are really into being like in genuine friendships, but then there's also a lot of people who are just trying to get like followers, IG followers, clout. They're trying to, clout. They're trying to make sure that they basically can be like, I know them. I know this person too. Oh yeah, I know this person. But it's like, do you really know them? A lot of Uber drivers be doing this. Oh, you want to follow me on
Aisha,
IG? Yeah.
I have Actually, I was scrolling through Instagram the other day and I saw this one post, and I think it really ties into this conversation right now.
Okay, sure. Do you want to share it?
Yes, the person says, I know too many people who F with people because of the power they feel they hold by knowing someone. Just the ability to say, yeah, that's my friend, bro, fam, and flaunt that person's popularity for their own gain. People really love attention and status.
Hmm. I think that definitely goes into what I was talking about because it's like a currency. It's about a status
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's about showing off and saying, I know this person, I know that person. And everybody may do it for different reasons. Now, some people actually use that as capital to make moves, like to actually create things and movements. That's how a lot of things actually move currently for most of our generation. But I do
Yeah.
think that there's a side of it that could be very dangerous because when you say everybody's your friend, and you don't really know them, that can come at a big consequence. Because when you say somebody's your friend, I feel like the term friend is being used a lot loosely. But that's my opinion. That's
No,
my opinion. What were you gonna say, Lumu?
no, I just agreed with you. I said definitely.
Yeah, just I
Like
feel like yeah,
it kind of undermines the word friend itself.
yep. It's
Yeah.
I think it's a dangerous place to be in. Who else wanted to add something? I heard someone.
No, I just say yeah, but again, just to conclude what everybody said, the look has something to do with the introduction, because honestly, very few people will tell you, oh, I have a friend that I saw in the street. Nothing, he had nothing. He was just a homeless living on Skid Row. Very few people that you will meet. No, seriously. That's not that many
That's
that
right.
will say that.
That's right.
Because they didn't give the opportunity to the person to express who they really are. It's like you live on Skid Row, you don't have a car, you don't have an apartment, you're out here urinating wherever you can. Like your life is not that good. I do not want to associate with that. So automatically you're putting a barrier. And guess what? On Skid Row, the being there doesn't mean that person is not smart. It doesn't mean that person doesn't have a value. It doesn't mean that person does not have a conscience, and it doesn't mean they're not human. They probably have more to offer than the person that you're sitting next to in a classroom.
Yep.
But you're giving that person the chance to be in a friend because you're going to school with them, or you guys are in the same class. So definitely that look part, introduction is definitely there. We make assumptions. You see a ball with someone, you think, y'all could probably play soccer together, so let me see what's up. So, that it happens all the time. And yeah, we loosely use friendship as well. I even do it. Some people I call my friends because it's just easier to call it that way. You don't want to start thinking about a new definition for this guy that might feel offended because, like it's a lot of intricacies. I rather just say, yeah, that's my guy or that's my friend, like it's easy. But when we really dig deep, I don't have that many friends.
Yeah. I think that phrase you just said at the end, that's the one that be hitting the heart. Because when you really think about it, you don't have that many friends. And I feel like the sad part is some people don't know that until it's too late. Some people actually do believe it when you say that's my friend, right? And then they be like, yeah, I have all these friends. But then when things actually come and you actually have an issue or a problem, all your friends that you thought were your friends, you looking around and only maybe one or two of them are popping in. And you're like, wow, I don't have that many friends. And so it's really important, like no matter how you use or label people, that you at least know the truth about who's really your friend in your life. Don't get fooled by the illusion. Let's see. The next question. Money makes the world go round, they say. In terms of friendships, does having money hurt or help the sustainability of your friendships?
Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the second episode of WiseAïchaTalks Friendship Panel Series. I truly appreciate all of the love and support that I've been receiving on all of my social media platforms. So make sure you keep liking, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm seeing the growth, and therefore I'm really hoping that it keeps growing exponentially. Thank you again for your support. And next time we'll be having a conversation about how finances impact our friendships and how we navigate that, especially when we all have different social economic statuses. How do you manage that? We're going to figure it out in this conversation. Stick around. Deuces.